What's going on, everybody? My name is Yuka. We are back with another Albion Online episode, and I got kind of a lot of stuff done over the weekend. Didn't really do a whole bunch of stuff that was video worthy, but I pretty much just gathered a load of stuff, did some expeditions, crafted a few bits and pieces. What I want to talk to you guys about today, though, is rune crafting, which I'm sure you guys have probably come across already. These adept runes in your travels and stuff when you kill mobs, find chests, etc., do expeditions. Um, a lot of you will probably have adept runes and adept essence, maybe some adept souls laying around. Then there's also the tier 5, tier 6, tier... Are these tier 8? These are tier 8. I think I had tier 7. I'm not too sure. But so I ended up getting a bunch of adept runes. I did some gameplay with Neverduck. I will go ahead and link his channel in the description. He's a really cool guy. He's an absolute encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to this game. Really helpful. He does a lot of live streams, a lot of mount giveaways. Super friendly guy, really nice. I would definitely recommend befriending him or at least checking out his videos. He is probably one of the reasons that's still keeping me interested in Albion. Not that I'm losing interest in it, but if I didn't have the kind of like the help and like just like a general little bit of guidance from a player like him, I would probably have lost a lot of interest in Albion already. So, I mean, if you don't find a player like Neverduck, then I'm sure there's other players out there that you can ask for help. But I'm going to show you guys exactly what happens with these adept runes and how you use them, how you can craft them into gear. I'm sure you've seen them on the Destiny board. If I open up my Destiny board real quick and go to, say, my axes, under my axes I can wield the adept Curry and Caller, the Scythe, which is actually pretty good if you look at the stats for it, and the abilities. It's kind of cool. But you'll see right here, it requires a Hellish Sickle Blade. And this is where runes come in. So without any further without any further delay, let's wander over here real quick to this guy. And you can see this guy on the map. He's usually right by the repair station. You can see that it's an artifact foundry. And what we're going to do is basically craft the runes into artifacts. So the way that this works, you set up your initial tier for your runes. So you have tier 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, S, and so on and so on. Tier 4 is what we're using here. We're going to be using a rune. This is runes. You can also use souls and relics. And then you get to basically pick the possible artifact that you want. I'm not going to go for the warrior, the mage, or the hunter or archer class, because they all require 50. What I'm going to do is basically select any, which only requires 36. I think it used to be 35 last week, and I guess that's changed, unless I'm mistaken. But what you do from here is you select from the pool of every possible artifact that can be created. Instead of having one that's class specific, you're basically pulling from the larger pool. Here you can see absolutely everything in there. So you go ahead, you hit meld. It's gonna work its magic. It takes, I don't know why, but it takes a really long time to craft artifacts into to craft runes into artifacts. I kind of wish it was a little speedier, but oh well. So we ended up with the Adept Imbued Visor, which I do believe is used for some sort of mage helm, if I'm not mistaken. The ancient powerful weapon can be used to the Stalker's Hood, so it can be used to craft the Stalker's Hood, which I don't think I can actually make. But nonetheless, it's there. What you can also do with the artifacts that you create is you can drop them into the salvage, get a little bit of silver back for them, and get some runes. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep a lot of the artifacts that I make. You can also enchant an item here using runes and souls, and you can also transmute the runes and souls into either souls or runes. So the way that this would work is that you would have 20 adept runes, and you would transmute them into a adept rune. 20 adept souls would create an adept rune, so on and so on and so on. I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong with that, actually. 20 Adept runes will create an Adept soul. I'm sorry, my mistake. But that's, like, real basic, a rundown on how that works. Some tips for if you're actually trying to craft something for... Wow, I think the server's being DDoSed again. It's got a whole bunch of lag and chat's disconnected. That's kind of an issue I hope that the developers work on and fix. But what was I saying? So what I would recommend with regards to crafting your specialized equipment is, well, let's take that back out and put the rune in there actually. When you make something, I would recommend using uncommon materials at least, or slightly higher tier materials. You can see that with this pair of boots that Neverduck gave me, he's actually used some uncommon materials to craft these. So these are a tier 4.1. The axe that I made, I also used uncommon materials for. I also have a horn, which Neverduck gave me the relic, and I crafted that into an Adept Mistcaller's horn with just normal quality, but it's a tier 4.1. So the way that tiers work is when you use uncommon materials or rarer materials, it will actually increase the item power quite significantly, and of course the quality. So something like these outstanding boots, the quality also increases item power dramatically as well. Same thing with my cape, which was actually purchased from somebody else. I didn't make that. And my helm, because I've crafted so many helms, I can actually make pretty good helmets, knight tier helmets or soldier tier helmets. Fairly frequently. I'm not too sure about the jacket. Yeah, the jacket's not, but in a nutshell, you want to use uncommon material because if it's something that you're not actually going to use, or you do use and you find that you don't like too much, you'll always be able to have that ability to sell something that's a lot better than its base compound components. Other than that, that's kind of how you use runes. Playing the market's a little different. I'm going to go ahead and check on my farm, actually, on my personal island. So bear with me 1 second, we will be right back, and we'll go take a look. Okay, guys, we are back. And hopefully, if I time this right, my carrot should almost be ready. I hope. Let's jump off the mountain here and check them. 4 hours left on my carrots. Okay, so they're not quite ready. I'm going to show you guys the mounts that I have, my livestock, I guess. So I got chickens, which are producing eggs. In another 4 hours, they'll have eggs. Both of those here. I have 2 journeyman's horses, which I have raised from just one foal. As you can see, I have another foal over here who, wow, she actually really needs some food. 3 hours for the food, 104% offspring yield. So that's going to guarantee me another journeyman's horse, or sorry, a journeyman's foal when she turns into a journeyman's horse. And over here, I think I messed up with regards to buying the fawn, because I think I purchased it from the exchange for about 40,000 silver. Let me see. 115, 150, 40. Yeah, it was about 45,000 silver. The stags, the tame stags, don't sell for a whole bunch. I think they sell for like 45k silver. And your projected yield offspring, or your projected offspring yield, I should say, is only 18%. Maybe that'll go up with more food. I'm not entirely sure, or better food. I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of like living and learning as I do this stuff, which I guess a bunch of you are as well, which is probably why you're watching my content. Like I said from the very beginning, I'm just making content to show you my experience on Albion, and kind of maybe it'll give you guys something to take away from that. So let me check my carrots again real quick. That is going to be 4 hours and 13. Maybe there'll be some crossover time. I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of feel like I need to buy carrots and give them to my fawn. What I'm going to do is probably go and craft some torches down. I picked up a bunch of resources last night. Unfortunately, I didn't put out a video last night. I didn't really have the time. But I gathered a bunch of material for crafting torches, so I'm going to go ahead and process those down. Hopefully that'll take me up to my next level, if we're not too far away. I could have just clicked this. 6,360 XP out of 7,212. I keep calling it XP, it's fame. But that'll give me a little extra bonus, plus 6 specialization increase in quality when crafting torches. So that's going to give us our first point into being a torch crafting specialist. And for those of you that don't know, Torch provides you with a cooldown modifier, and it also provides you with some attack speed. So let's go to the bank, grab my material, and start crafting. I am super glad that I was actually on my ox when I grabbed all this stuff. You can see from my inventory, I have like over 100, nearly over 200 actually, of some resources. 530, 563 flax, that's crazy, 270 hemp. So yeah, if I'd have chosen my horse to bring the stuff over here, although I thought it would have been faster, I probably would have been super overburdened. So let's process this, the fibers down into cloth, and hopefully get to make a bunch of fine cloth. Then I'm going to go ahead and process my logs. I'm going to process those down into pine planks. And then with everything that we have, all of the pine planks and all of the fine cloth, I am going to make the torches. So I'm sure you guys don't want to see me process down all of this stuff because it takes a good few minutes. I will cut back to you when I'm ready to craft the torches and talk to you guys a little bit more about crafting. Alright guys, so I just processed everything down from the raw materials, a whole bunch of planks, a whole bunch of, wow, I'm walking into a tree, whole bunch of cloth, and now it's time to craft the torches. Excuse me. So the way that crafting works in Albion is quite interesting because you'll never not have a need for a lower tier resource, which constantly kind of keeps a demand for certain resources. It keeps a demand for all resources, frankly, which is kind of nice. And the way that crafting torches works, if I can find the damn things, totally lost them. I think I'm in the wrong. Yep, I'm in the wrong area here. I need to be, I think, in the Hunter's Lodge or the Mage's Toolmaster. I can't remember how to make torches. I'm telling you guys how crafting works and I can't remember how it works. That's hilarious. These are tools, these are bags. I don't need any of that stuff. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's, excuse me. I'm pretty sure it's the Archer's, Hunter's Lodge. Archer, Hunter, one of those, something. It's someone that's around here that can be used. Let's double check with her. Right, okay, so the torches are crafted in the Hunter's Lodge. So the way that I had to process my material down to make the Adept Torches. So these require 4 pine planks and 4 fine cloth. As you can see, I have 147 pine planks, 170 fine cloth. So I'll be able to make quite a few of these torches. 36 isn't too bad with a yield return of 15, so I'll probably be able to make something like 45, 46 torches. But the way that crafting works, if I bring up the Destiny board real quick, actually, I tell you what would be easier. If I click on the pine planks, that would be easier. So pine planks require 2 pine logs and 1 chestnut plank. Obviously, you need to have chestnut planks to, chestnut logs to create chestnut planks. Hence the need for pine logs and chestnut planks to create pine planks. So if we look at the chestnut planks, you'll see that you're required to have 2 chestnut logs and 1 birch plank. So these are all tier 4, 3, and 2 resources so far. Then if we look at chestnut planks, they require birch planks, they require 1 birch log. So you can get away with just farming or buying the birch planks for the tier 2 resources, as they don't require any other materials, or mats as a lot of people call them. But once you move past birch logs and you create tier 3 equipment or tier 3 gear, excuse me again, you'll need to basically have the previous tier item, refined item or refined material as a resource to be able to create the next tier or that tier item. Hopefully that makes sense. It's not really too complicated, but like the first couple times I was crafting stuff, I would always forget, oh crap, I need X number of lower tier mats or X number of lower tier resources. So that translates into crafting, where you obviously need the finished material or the finished resource to actually make that item. So let's go ahead and hit craft on these. These are going to cost me 2.2 thousand silver to make. It's probably going to take a good minute, maybe two, to craft these. So with the beautiful magic of Hollywood, I'll cut and come back as soon as it's done. Alright guys, we're back. It's almost done. Boom! Level mastered, Torchcrafter. So now, if that's on my right side, there we go. So, wow, we got a whole bunch of fame for that. Learning point reached. We went way beyond the learning point. We're at 5.6 out of 7.4k for that. We mastered Torchcrafting, which is pretty awesome. You can see that... Oh, I think we went through that twice? No, we went through it once, hence the 2 learning points needed. So you can see that it gives kind of a nice bonus when crafting materials, weapons, items, armor, etc. Every time you master a particular path, so you can see here, at level 10 I'll be able to craft tier 5. Currently at level 4 out of 100, so 8 more. 8 more? Wow, math was not my forte apparently just now. So once I reach level 10, I'll be able to craft the next tier items, provided obviously I have the cedar planks and the ornate cloth. Again, that ties back into needing previous resources, so that there's always a demand for lower tier resources. And then when you master a particular path, so for the first level, my passive bonus is a 0.3 bonus focus efficiency while crafting, a 0.75 increase in quality, 2.5 specialization bonus focus cost efficiency while crafting torches, and +6 specialization increase in quality while crafting torches. It's not a huge bump every single time, but the nice thing is that every time you make something like that, your ability to make something better increases, and I think the best one I made here is Outstanding, which gives 722 item power. And you can see if you hover over it, it gives you +20 for quality, +2 mastery bonus, because someone that's, you know, quite apt at making torches, it gives you that +2 mastery bonus that we just spoke about from the Destiny board. So 712 for good quality, and then there's 24 shitty ones. So I will probably break these down. I'll have a look when I'm not recording at what profit I can make for selling them, what profit I can make for breaking them down back into materials and recrafting them, as torches are something that I'd like to make for the horns and the torches, as the current build that I have, I know I say this every video, but the current build that I have I'm kind of happy with. I don't really want to experiment or deviate too much from that. I'm kind of happy the way that it is. I'm having a lot of fun with my build. One thing I do want to mention though is I'm going to be doing a mount giveaway. It's going to be a tier 3 journeyman horse. I will either give you the horse if you want to craft the mount, or I will just outright give you the mount. I would prefer to give you the mount because I'd actually like to get the fame for making the journeyman's riding horse. As I showed you guys earlier, I have 2 of them on my island currently, so I'll probably give away 2. I will probably just continually give away tier 3 mounts, in all honesty. I plan on just raising them to get my livestock like fame up, so that I can basically raise more. So I'm going to use those as a cheap alternative. Wow, that like a cheap alternative to buying other mounts. I'll see what happens with regards to the stag once it's fully matured. I'm just going to check real quick what I'm going to get back from recycling all this stuff. 3,000 gold, 36... 3,000 gold, that would be nice. 3,000 silver, 36 pine planks, and 36 fine cloth. It's probably worth a little bit more to me not to break these down. It's probably worth more to me monetarily to actually see what I can make for the torches in the exchange. I apologize, guys, if there's lag. I'm almost certain that the servers are being DDoSed right now. Since I have 4 of these outstanding torches, I'm going to stack that one in here, over here. I'm not actually going to sell this one. I may give it away since I'm not really using a torch. I'm using the horn for the 9.9% cooldown modifier. Really strong. It gives you basically 10% cooldown reduction on all of your abilities, which is super nice. As always, I'm super anal about where I put planks and logs and resources, so I'm going to manually drag these over here because I don't want them going in, blur, speak much. I don't want them going into random squares. Where did I take my fiber from? I guess it was here. And then my cloth. Put these back in here. Actually put that torch in there so I don't sell it by accident. Okay, let's go and check the potential profit in the exchange, and then I think we'll wrap it up there. Like I said previously, guys, if you guys like these videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you like. If you don't like these videos, go ahead and put a thumbs down. Let me know what you don't like. Maybe there's something I can improve. Maybe you have questions, and I could answer those for you guys in videos also. So if there's anything that you want to see, let me know. I'll link Neverduck's channel in the video description. Also, I think with regards to the mounts, I'll be giving them away to subscribers or viewers. I'm not entirely sure on the journey, I guess, that I'll take with regards to that. So let's see what these. It's Adept '(S). Adept's Torch. Oh, god damn it. Alright, so it looks like they sell for 950 gold, and there's only one in there. They sell for 1050. Oh, we can make some pretty good money off of these actually. These sell for 900. What's their base? 404. Create a sell order, and we're just going to sell them all for 900 just because I don't really care. The Adept Torches sell for 1.5. I'm sorry, not the Adept. The good quality sell for 1.5k. I'm actually going to sell those at 1.5k. Slightly below 1,495. And the outstanding quality, which I have 4 of, these will bring in a nice chunk of cash actually. When you're searching to sell stuff, guys, just a quick tip with the market. I know I said this in a previous video. Always check your sell tab, what you have. Go back to your buy tab, and obviously don't forget to see exactly what the item is if you're unsure. Wow, that game volume is really loud. I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so the tier, we don't need to worry about the tier because we're actually searching for a tier 4 weapon, but the quality, outstanding. They're actually, oh, there is one. Okay, that's selling for 1,494, 1,495. Oh crap, did I price mine too high? Let's abort that real quick. Let's look at good quality. There are no good quality ones. Oh, there are. So they're selling for 1,050. That's where I messed up. So 1,150, 1,100, 1,300. Could probably, actually, you could probably get away with selling these for like 1,200 each. Because there's not a whole bunch of these. 1,000. And how many? 1,049, 15 selling for 1,050. Alright, let's put them back in. Complete, take. Let's put those back in at... Servers are going down, of course. They're always going down. Create a sell order. Let's sell them for 1,000... and 99. No. 1,110. No, 1,000... Oh, so undecided. 1,109. Ah, there we go. Alright. Okay. Good quality. Outstanding quality. They're selling for 1.5k. Wow, that's selling for 20k? Jesus. I feel like I could almost sell my Adept Torch for 20k since I'm not using it, but I don't really need that 20k immediately, so... we got 4 minutes to decide. Adept Torch for 14.99, another Adept Torch for 14.95. I can pretty much make outstanding torches, like a guarantee every time I craft them. So let's create a sell order for 14.99. No, 14.98. Somewhere in the middle of those other two. It's gonna net us about 5k. So anyway, I think that pretty much wraps things up. I am gonna go repair some items because I was gathering a whole bunch. See what my sickle is kind of, well, shit right now. In fact, what's the quality on that? 49%. It'll still go for quite a while. A quick overview of my Destiny board. Haven't really done a whole bunch. Working towards my Master Reaver, so I can fight tier 5 and 6. I actually haven't really fought any tier 5 mobs, and I hit the Expert Adventurer milestone yesterday. There really wasn't much going on yesterday or over the weekend. It was just a whole bunch of gathering. I didn't really do any dungeoning or anything like that, so I didn't really have any content to put out. Well, the game just kicked me out due to a server restart, so I'm going to go ahead and post you a couple highlights of the weekend in the video outro. There's also a video of me killing a bot, which is quite funny in my opinion. I fast forwarded though. Fast forwarded. Is that even a word? Fast forwarded? I think I'm just making up words. Basically, the way to kill bots. This guy was using like an auto clicker, just to like click on the same location to farm flax. I had to lure NPCs over to him and get him to basically click on them and then kind of like walk away while the NPC was still attacking me, so that he would click off of it and then like not auto attack, so that he wouldn't kill the NPC. There's a video of me making an ox. There's a video of me dying, which sucked. There was a video of me, I think, making the Mistcaller as well. So I'll just put those in at the end. They're like kind of little miscellaneous updates. Like I always say, guys, if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, leave a thumbs down. You're always more than welcome to do that. But I would also appreciate it if you let me know why you disliked the video. That would be a huge help. If there's anything that you want to see, or if you want me to do a giveaway, please leave me a comment in the description below. Again, check out Neverduck's channel. He posts some he posts some awesome content, really useful information. He does a lot of live streaming. He is always willing to play with other people that play Albion too. And like I said, he's an encyclopedia of knowledge. Wow, I cannot speak today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope I earned your sub. If I did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, I will catch you in the next one.